given that we know how long this is going to take, particularly economic side of it, that we should plan for and execute broad strikes, broad mass actions the first of every month. So we are going to pick this back up again on June 1st, and we're encouraging everybody in earshot of this to join us. And again, using the same kind of platform, we're asking everybody to take the action that you can at the level of risk that you believe that you can, and to be involved in a wide variety of actions. There's no one way to be involved because we're all in different places, but we have to utilize our positionality as best we can to really bring the point home to the forces of capital and the government that things are going to change and that we are taking it upon ourselves to take the first steps to make the change. So we're asking folks again, in part out of solidarity, but also part recognizing reality, to continue to rent strikes and make that known on an even larger and grander scale in June than it was in May. We're asking, workers to continue to press for their rights on the job and continue to take in workplace actions, because we know the vast majority are still not being offered the basic minimum in personal protection. And we want to extend that further. And that's what's not just immediate demands, but the broader piece of democratizing all of our workplaces, which is a part of the broader long-term struggle. We're asking folks who have to, work from home, be they teachers or, working with some private company, to strike in place and to make your strike activity known on that day by sending out broad messages or making demands to your employers and to the forces of government to let them know the situation. And we're also asking people to not shop and to not go to school, and basically just on the first of every month going forward, and as we continue to build and amass our strength and power, to send clear messages home that no rent, no work, no shopping. We're aiming to shut it down and send a clear message, but also to build our own organizing capacity towards creating a new society. So we got long-term plans for this, Rick and everybody. Encourage everybody to stick with us, because we're in it for the long haul, and this is going to be a very long struggle, regardless of whether they open it up tomorrow, which would be a disaster by all accounts. But we know the virus is going to be here, the lack of a response is going to be here, and the economic dimensions of all of the collective suffering, and now millions of people are involved. That's going to be here, and we have to organize that. We're starting to encourage people to go back and look at some of the lessons from the 1930s in particular, and encouraging people to start organizing unemployed councils using some of the models of the 1930s. And we think we have a sound basis in doing that by first starting with the mutual aid organizations that have cropped up all throughout the countries now in the hundreds. So we have, I think, some of the preliminary means to get started. But I think the question and the challenge is organizing to scale and connecting politically. That is some of the next focus that we're going to be looking towards as People Strike and Cooperation Jackson is furthering our links, deepening our connections, and sharpening up our organization to take on the task ahead.